Hello, everyone. How are you guys? How's everyone doing?
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hi.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Hello. We're so excited to have you with us. So just to tell you guys, today we're going to be broadcasting everywhere. So we're going to be live on YouTube, live on Twitter, live on Facebook. And obviously this session as well is going to be recorded. So we're super excited to have you with us. We're going to have a guest trainer with us today, which is Omar. I'll let him introduce himself in a few minutes. So we're gonna wait like only a couple of minutes so that we start, just so that a lot of people can join us, because I mean we have, I don't know, we have lots of people who registered to this meetup, and I promise you it's gonna be super interesting and exciting and fun at the same time. All right. So meanwhile, I mean, while we're just waiting like a couple of minutes, if anyone is like just using like a nickname, you can just always, I mean, you can go and edit your username just to put like your first name and last name. That would be like a good thing, just so that we know who's with us in the room. And only if you can, I mean, that's obviously that's optional. If you want to open your camera, that would make it even more like engaging and fun at the same time, because we get to see your faces, we get to see everyone who's with us in the room. And obviously make sure that your mic is working, just in case you have a question, you want to raise your hand, you want to ask something. So obviously we'd love to hear from you. All right. All right. So more and more people are joining. Amazing. All right, so we're live everywhere at the moment. All right, guys, so I think it's a good time to start. So I'll just hand it over to Omar, who's going to be with us today. So Omar, the floor is yours.
All right, so thank you, Abed, for the introduction. And we're so excited for you guys to be here. As Abed said, this is going to be a super fun workshop. We're going to talk about a lot of things. And I mean, the fact that you guys are here says a lot about you. This is all about learning and teaching. And as much as I want to give you everything that I learned throughout my career, I also want you to ask as many questions as possible, because this training is for you. This workshop is for you. And I'm going to learn from you as much as you're going to learn from me. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce myself officially. My name is Omar Miski, and I'm the founder of MavenX. MavenX is a communication agency based in Dubai and Beirut. We focus on creating customer experiences through design and strategic marketing. And without mentioning a lot of details, everything that you need to know about me is that my nickname is Markitect, which is a combination of what I studied and what I love to do in life. So it's architecture and marketing. And my philosophy in life is that nothing is unbranded, which means that every single detail is communicated. You know, having a lack of presence online says a lot about you. Being active says a lot about you as well. So every single detail about who you are, what you do, and what you say to the world is a communication message that people will perceive of you. And my superpower is branding and e-commerce, because this is where I started my career. Actually, I launched my two e-commerce stores 3 years ago. And since I'm from an architecture and design background, we mixed both of these worlds. And this is the thing that I mostly enjoy doing as well. And my weakness is cheesecake. So, you know, from that perspective, I wanted to show everyone that, you know, everyone has strengths and weaknesses, but overall, we need to focus on our strength to achieve our goals. So the main takeaways of this course is that you'll have practical knowledge today to understand how to use Instagram for business, understanding the difference between social media and social media marketing. That's extremely important for me because I meet a lot of clients throughout my career, and they don't know the difference, which is something that I want to tackle today as well. I'm going to give you some branding tips for Instagram, how to retarget interested users that are engaging with your page, how to boost your page organically, the different types of posts that you can do, and the reason behind every post. We're also going to talk about influencer marketing, best practices, and which influencers are the right fit for you. So let's start. And by the way, if you guys have any questions along the way, please feel free to interrupt me. You have the chat here. You can ask questions. You can raise your hand. I want you to interrupt me as much as possible because this is for you, like I said before. And if I say something that is not clear, also intervene and we can make it happen. Thank you, Abid. All right, so thank you. So the first thing that I want to talk about is the algorithm. The feed that we all know about used to be chronological, but now is algorithmic. And that's important to know because you'll rank depending on the type of value and interactions that people, that the market actually gives you, the insights that we see. So the main purpose of Instagram is that they want to keep you on the platform as much as possible. And they will boost your posts and stories and reach the more you use the platform. Hence, we figure out something that if our posts can keep people on the platform, then they will perform better, which is why this is a perfect segue for my next slide, which is the relationship between art and math. So for me, this is something that I truly focus on when it comes to marketing in general, especially on social media and digital marketing, because it's important to respect both of these arts. Math is an art, and art in creative is also an art. So when I talk about art and math on social media, I actually talk about something else, which is branding and then sales. Because we're all here to understand how Instagram works for business. So we need to understand both of these metrics. So branding and sales. So what do I mean when I talk about branding on social media? There's a lot of different factors that come into play. So the first thing that you need to understand is that branding on social media is actually talking about the creative art direction, inbound marketing, everything that you do on your page to attract customers and people. Copywriting and storytelling is one of the most important things as well. Brand guidelines and consistency to show that you are a trustworthy brand, and then all of the visuals and aesthetics that goes along with it. So this is an example of a visual brand exercise. You see here on the left, there's a type of consistency when it comes to these posts, but every post has a different purpose, but they all have a synergy when you put them all together. So when it comes to visual branding, you need to understand and to try to follow a certain guideline, like a unified color palette, one font across your page, or one or two, depending on your branding, a consistent layout, and a consistent look and feel. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I think Umar, you need to mute your WhatsApp.
Yeah, apologies for that.
Thank you.
Thank you. This is another example of visual branding. Like, these are types of posts and feeds from different businesses, but you see that there's always a relationship when you put them all together. And this is what I want you to consider to make something that is appealing and that looks trustworthy, because consistency equals trust. The second thing that I want to talk about, which is very huge for me and for you, especially for your business, sales on social media. So what is sales on social media? It's outbound marketing, everything that you do outside the content that you create. Ads, for example, collaboration with influencers, your retargeting, your social media outreach, which is finding people on certain hashtags and connecting with them. And at the end of the day, it's your call to action. Are you generating sales? Is your conversion metric being met? And all of these together. So this is a question for you guys, and I hope you can jump in and answer, maybe in the chat, or if you want to unmute your mic and answer. Who knows what's the biggest mistake brands do when it comes to Instagram ads? All right, so
target market.
Hi, Moin.
Boosting, like using the boost button directly from Instagram without looking for specific audience through Facebook.
Nice. All right. Anyone else?
Well, I think we have a lot of answers. A lot of people are answering. Creating ads from Instagram, not targeting the right people. Absolutely, guys.
Yeah, 100%. But the biggest thing that people miss, or they do actually, is what Moin just talked about, which is pressing the promote button on Instagram. And if you follow me on Instagram, you know I create a lot of content there, and I always talk about this. Never press the promote button for one reason. I'm going to show you what you're missing, and then you'll decide if you want to press the button, yes or not. So I'm going to show you what you're missing, and this is what you're missing. If you use other metrics, which is the Facebook Ads Manager, which we all know that Facebook bought Instagram, so they're connected as platforms. If you use Facebook Ads Manager, this is what you'll be gaining. You can retarget audiences that visited and engaged with your IG page in the last 30 or 60 days, who saw a specific product on your website. If you're an e-commerce store, this is amazing for you. Who viewed or added to cart but not purchased. I mean, these are all insights that Facebook can give you. And if you're pressing the promote button, then you're not benefiting from all of these. You can cross-sell products, and you can even target people who spent a specific time on your website page. So I'm going to walk through a small tutorial of how to do all of these things, because I want you to be convinced not to use that promote button again. So on Facebook's ad manager, you have the choice when you create an ad set to select your audience. So when you select an audience, you go to custom audience. And here you have different options on what to choose, either from website or an app activity, customer list, offline activity, but also other Facebook sources. So when we talk about Instagram, we're not just talking only Instagram, we're also talking about Facebook, but this is focused here on Instagram specifically. So imagine you can target people who visited a certain page on your website. For example here, and you do that by installing your pixel on your website. A pixel is a code that Facebook gives you that you can install on your website, and you can target people with that code. So let's walk through it. You can target here website visitors in the last 30 days. That's amazing if you have a business. That's amazing if you're selling something on your website, or your service, or you're looking to engage with a certain landing page that you created. Yes, and also you can target people who visited and engaged with your business, either visited your page on Instagram, liked your photo. Imagine you can retarget people who liked your photos, who saw your stories, shared or saved the post, left a comment, and tagged a friend. This is the level of details when it comes to sales on social media or Instagram. Yeah, this is also something very interesting, which is retargeting people based on video views. For example, if your audience is on Instagram and you launched an awareness video that is 45 seconds in length, and you want to target people who watched the video till the end. So you can do that using Facebook Ads Manager. Here you can target people who saw at least 3 seconds of your video, 10 seconds of your video, 25%. And a bonus tip, you know, if people watched your video till the end, that means they're very interested. So usually when we do these retargeting ads, we select people who watched at least 50% of our videos, so we can retarget them later. So why do I bring up this topic of art and math? The bottom line is, the more creative you can get, the more money you save. And that's very important for business. Now, let's get creative. Okay, the next topic is Instagram tips to boost your reach. This is going to be interesting for a lot of you because it's for free, it's free exposure. I have a second question for you. What do you think is the most single important part of IG that most people neglect? So if you want to take a few moments to answer, I'll be happy to wait for that. Discovery page. All right.
Hashtags.
Community, hashtags. All right. What else? Stories. Okay. Reviewing insights. Nice. Optimizing bio. Nice. All right. Can target more people than you think. Engaging. Okay. Perfect. All right. I think we have enough answers. So
you're pretty close, I guess.
yeah.
The profile picture, the bio. I think you're pretty close.
Yeah, they are pretty close. But no one actually had the answer. Some of you were very close. The answer is your name. And that comes as a shock to a lot of people because they don't know how the search engine of Instagram works. Your name is Instagram's search engine. And I want to tell you a story here, which is going to be surprising to some of you. This is my Instagram bio, all right? And when I changed my name from just Omar Miski to Miski Digital Marketing, something beautiful happened. I got a DM. I was just going about my day. I saw a request in the DM. So someone contacted me. They're like, hey, we saw your profile and we're interested in talking to you. And I didn't know who these guys were. So I got on the DM and I, of course, booked a meeting. So we were talking and it turns out that it's a big company, like it's a holding company with 3 different other sister companies below it. And we were talking and at the end of the call, I just asked her a question. I was like, how did you find me? And she went like this. I was on Instagram. I typed marketing in the search bar, and your name popped up. I went in, I saw your content, and I knew exactly like this is the guy that we need to work with. So this goes to show you that changing your name on Instagram, the top name on Instagram, can result to a potentially $36,000 contract. So this is what happened with me. And this shows you that sometimes it's just these simple tricks that will boost your sale, will boost your reach and your discovery. Because at the end of the day, when we talk about sales or branding, we talk about also paid ads and organic reach. And who doesn't want organic reach? So, moving on.
I just did that.
Nice. But I think everyone should do it when we finish the call.
Absolutely.
Yeah, other important aspects that most people neglect are just like a lot of you said, Instagram bio, hashtags, and location. And why do I mention these? Is because it all results in organic growth. So Instagram bio will increase your conversions by a lot because it's clear. And I showed you now, I'm gonna show you a couple of examples now. Hashtags, because they will boost your reach. More people will discover you. And the location, because obviously people can look for you or they can find you, whether it's on story or on a post. So what I did.
Question from Munin in the chat is asking about brands. He's saying, what about brands?
What do you mean? What about brands?
Like, for example, you know, for Wholesome Craft, like my brand name is Wholesome Craft. It's a specialty in dietitian and nutritionist.
Okay.
Is like here, like oral gen, you put teeth whitening.
Yeah.
Do you recommend that we define what is the scope or the main services of the brand in naming? Or
Yes.
talking about only personal branding?
No, this is exactly why I put this example here, because it works for brands as well as personal brands. So and you should put, for example, if you're in the diet business, you should put, for example, diet center, or I don't know the actual business.
Yes.
So all right, so yeah, here this is an example of how you can structure your bio. And that's important because, and I did something on purpose here. I didn't show you the logo, so you don't know what the brand is. I want you to understand it fully just from the bio. So here, for example, Oral Gen, it's teeth whitening. You can see here the benefits. Dentist recommended 20 minutes a day. It's fast, easy, and effective. This is what you'll get once you see this, once you land on this profile. And then you have the call to action, get your whitening kit. Without seeing everything else, neither the posts nor the profile pic, you can understand what the business is about. And this is what you need to do to clarify what you offer to the world, either as a personal brand or as a service. I also have different examples. This is a personal brand, obviously. And who you are, Steve Miller, marketing. You know that this guy is in marketing. I teach Instagram and marketing to entrepreneurs. This is what he offers. I'll help you grow your audience. And then get my Carousel Secrets ebook. This is his call to action. And you see, it's very clear, even if you don't know anything about the guy, nor that you see his post. These are also other examples. Branding and design. Obviously, this is a branding coach. And you have his call to action here. This is a business as well. This is an online parapharmacy. You know, immediately you know what these guys offer. Have free delivery here because it's important for them to have that, obviously. And this is their call to action. Book for a free call for a free consultation. So this is it for the Instagram bios. If you guys have any questions regarding the bios, now is the time to ask. If not, then we can move on to hashtags. All right. So hashtags. We have two types of hashtags. We have the ranking hashtags and we have the time-based hashtags. This is algorithmic and this is chronological. So when you use hashtags, you're actually being ranked in two different places, based on your time and based on how much it got engagement. Okay, and you can just press any hashtags and you can see the difference between both. And you can see these are the top performing posts on this hashtag specifically. And if you press here, you'll see the recent ones. So who knows how many categories of hashtags do we have?
Like 5?
Just throwing a random number.
Like the big one, like they are the 10 million plus. Then you have like based on range. It
Nice.
depends on.
Yes, exactly.
I know, but the exact number I'm not sure. But I know it's based on range.
Yeah, exactly. We have 4 different types of hashtags. This is exactly what I wanted to talk about. We have the huge hashtags, which are 10 million plus. They have 10 million plus content on them. The big hashtags, which is above 1 million. Medium hashtags between 300K and 1 million, and the small hashtags, which are less than 300K. And if you wanna start using hashtags, which I think you should, because it's for discovery issues. I suggest, like, there's a lot of theories online about which type of hashtags you should use and all of that. But logically speaking, you're not going to start ranking on the huge hashtag from the beginning if you're just starting. Most probably you're going to be being ranked on the big, small, or medium hashtags, which I think that you need to focus on in the beginning. And you can split them between 20 small hashtags if you're just starting and 10 medium hashtags, and then work your way up to the bigger hashtags. And we have also 2 types of hashtags. We have interest-based and audience-based, which is something also that you need to take in consideration. For example, here, these 2 hashtags.
Omar, hey, Nadeem here. Omar, if just one clarification on the previous slide. So in terms of the hashtags, so which hashtags will get more traction to your profile or your business page?
Yeah, this is a matter of testing as well. I gave you here a free insight, which is hashtag stack.com, which you can start using to identify your hashtags. I'm going to share with you at the end of the course all the resources that you can use for free, and you can just type in also on Google a free hashtag resource or anything that follows these types of websites. But at the end of the day, this is a matter of testing. But what we suggest is that you start using the small to medium hashtags. For example, 20 small hashtags and 10 medium hashtags. Why? Because you're just starting. And once you start ranking on these, then you can start using the bigger hashtags. This is my advice. This is what worked for us in the previous, but it depends on each industry. And of course, you have to test. Does this answer your question?
Yes, yes, it does. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Nadim. So yeah, I was talking about two types of hashtags, which are interest-based and audience-based. We recommend using 80% of interest-based because this is what usually people look for, but also 20% on the audience-based. For example, if you're selling a service, then use the actual terminology that you define yourself in. For example, Instagram coach, social media coach, marketing coach, and the rest of them. Yeah, this is also for you, Nadim. You need to check your insights as well on the post to see if your hashtags that you're using are actually being beneficial to you or not. This is just an example of one of my recent posts. You can see here that I got 917 people only from hashtags, which are more organic reach for me.
Right. So this is the tool that you were talking about, the free hashtag.
Yeah, no, this is on Instagram. This is on Instagram, but
okay.
The other ones are for research. Like the tools that I wanted to show you is for like researching if this hashtags, how many posts are there on it, you know, so you can start identifying them.
Excuse me, how do you get to this page? Like, how do you get to this to see the statistics?
This one?
Yeah.
On every post that you have, there you have the insight button. You just click on it and you see everything.
Oh, okay, okay. Sorry, I'm a beginner at Instagram. Thanks.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
That's why I'm here.
Welcome, Maha. Thank you. All right, so location tags. Also, this is very important for discovery. It allows your business to have a spot in customers' mental map, because if they know where you are on Google Maps, then they have this thing that is registered in their minds that, okay, I saw this place, I know it on Google Map, maybe later on I'll visit it. This works a lot for offline places, such as restaurants, clubs, hair salons, anything that has a physical presence. It works really well, but also for any type of discovery. For example, on my recent stories, I'm putting Dubai hashtags because I want to be discovered in Dubai. So that's that. And you need to put it on your posts and on your stories as well. But if you don't want to do this, if you don't want to show that you're using as many hashtags, you can hide them by putting them on the bottom of each story. And we can have a discussion later on, maybe in the actual course that AstroLab will give you. We can dive into these details and show you exactly how these things will be executed. All right, so 4 C's of growth on Instagram. It's question time again. And who knows what are the 4 C's of Instagram, of growth? If you want, you can answer on the chat. Consistency, content, yes. Creativity, consumers, content, community. Nice. Yeah, I think all is covered here. So yeah, these are the 4 pillars of growth on Instagram. We have content, collaboration, consistency, and community. And we're going to dive in each one. By the way, Abed, how much time do we have left so I can just understand the timeline?
We still have like half an hour, so okay. I think we're good.
Yeah, all right. So, content. Content is the currency of social media. Without content, you don't have anything. So what are the 3 types of content that you need to focus on? We have something that is called the 3 E's. If you use any of these types of content, you will succeed. Why? Because they're valuable to people. So this is all about communicating value. If your posts are valuable, they will work. And you have 3 types of value as well. You have the educational value, entertaining value, and emotional value. So if you bring any of these to the table, your content will succeed. For example, educational value, it aims to teach or to help solve a problem. And the whole coaching community, we have a lot of people now creating carousels and sharing their knowledge. And this is all educational content. It aims to solve a problem. So for example, you can write all these headlines and start creating content around that. So for example, how to do X in 3 days. 3 things to avoid using on Instagram. The secret to organic growth. The best thing you need to do for ads. Tutorials, infographics. These are all valuable content that your audience will appreciate. But you need to be aware of something. Not all educational content your audience wants to hear them. For example, in our brand, we have a teeth whitening brand. We try to educate people on like brushing their teeth and whatnot, and they didn't like it. They didn't care. So we stopped creating educational content and we started entertaining them or giving them emotional content that they can relate to. So what are the entertaining content that you can do? It aims to engage and entertain your audience. For example, it can be something funny or witty. You can have storytelling on your posts. You can also share behind the scenes, fun facts and memes and competitions. And by the way, when I talk about memes, it doesn't have to be tacky like the regular memes that you see. These are all things that also can be branded. And also emotional content, which is aimed to inspire, motivate, inspire dedication and inspire an action through testimonials, case studies, or just inspiring words, you know, like quotes and all of that stuff. So yeah, this is also extremely important. This is something I see a lot of brands do, which is not the right thing to do. Not choosing the right aspect ratio when it comes to Instagram. We have 3 types of dimensions when we talk about Instagram. We have the square post, the portrait post, and the vertical post. The square, which is the normal aspect ratio. Anyone can use it, but I see a lot of people using the landscape one, which is not the right approach, because when you use square or portrait, you have a much bigger screen real estate. And when your post is occupying the most out of the user's screen, then most probably it will be more engaging. Now, if you follow, for example, if you give them an entertaining content and it's landscape, it will work. But if it's entertaining and it's the bigger ratio, it will work better. So why not go for the things that work better, you know? And then we have the stories, which are, you know, the stories are on the vertical posts, which you can use either as an IGTV or as a story. So digging deep into content. For us and the agency, every month we create a content calendar that is composed of different things. And for you to automate that process, because it can be overwhelming when you create all of these things, you need to have some sort of a content calendar, and you need to identify what type of posts that you are doing. So these are all the features that Instagram provide for you. You have the live feature, the IGTV feature, feed, Reels. This is something new. It's like TikTok, but it's on Instagram. And then you have the stories, and also you have the feed. So I'm going to dig deep into all of these, and I want to show you examples of how you can create those posts and what do they serve. Okay, so single posts. These are all portrait images. For example, you can even create content that has nothing to do with your brand. This is the thing that the posts that I'm showing you now are all for a teeth whitening brand, which is our brand. This is something that has nothing to do with teeth whitening, but it has to do with cleaning. So it has to do with Corona as well. So you see the link, now you're making links. And also the aesthetics of this image is white and blue, which is the branding of Oral Gen, our teeth whitening brand. So it makes sense for us to use this. It makes sense in the time that we're living in, and it makes sense from an entertaining perspective. So it's relatable on all levels. And these are the posts that works. For example, here, we asked them a question. Would you get married like this? This is just a simple question, and we just branded this picture. This was yellow, and the background was yellow. We just changed the background. And you can find all of these pictures for free on Unsplash or Pexels.com, which is also something that I'm going to share with you at the end of the workshop. all of these free resources that you can use to create this content. This is also a meme-like post, not the regular memes that you see with the white edges. So here, when you realize you only have one whitening session left, and this is just also, when you look at the design of it, you have the blue here, the gray here, which all fit together in a feed. Okay, different types of posts as well. You have the product placement, which is maybe a model or someone who actually used your product. You take a picture with it. And these work best because we have a human element in the picture. Also product placement with other premium stuff. For example, we're selling OralGen as a premium product, and we always place it with premium products as well. So we have that relationship when it comes to psychology, that if this product is always seen next to premium stuff, then all right, it makes sense that it's premium. So this is, and by the way, this is not photography, this is Photoshop. So it could be very helpful for you. And this is another post to make it relatable. We're living in Corona time and COVID. So we just did that creative post. And by the way, we found this on Unsplash as well. So we just took these pens and we placed them here, and we made the post very relatable. All right, so other type of posts that you need to post to boost your business are testimonials, user-generated content, and user-generated content using your product. So you have two types of user-generated content. And you can get those by working with influencers or from your customers as well. Giveaways, and these are all engaging things that you can do because they will boost your reach, and a lot of people will tag other people, and then your post will reach as many people as possible. You have here a giveaway example, a quote example, and a competition example. But I also want you to know that all of these, when you put them together, you'll have something consistent, and this is branding on social media. So you need to take that into consideration. Other type of posts are carousels. This is great if you want to teach something. This is an example that I did on my personal Instagram. I always post stuff that teaches people how to do marketing. So for example, here, this is a post that teaches people how to start with Facebook ads. And you have 10 images in a carousel that you can use, and each swipe is an impression. So each time anyone swipe on these posts counts as an impression, and it will boost your reach and your growth. So what you want to do here is that try to create it in a way where it's very curious for them to swipe. You know, make it entertaining, make it valuable. And a trick is to use, like in the last post, you use as many details as possible, and in the beginning you use something that is from storytelling and creative copywriting. If you're a business, you can introduce your product as well in a carousel, or you can, if you are an e-commerce store, you can use carousels to showcase different 360 of your product. Maybe you have a new launch and you want to showcase it in one ad. That's something that you can also do. Okay, videos. You know, videos are very important because Facebook is actually competing with YouTube. So he will favor your videos when you post them, and reach on videos is much higher than carousels or single posts. And we have three types of videos. We have the regular 1-minute videos, the Instagram Reels, which is similar to TikTok, and we have the long form video, which is great for behind the scenes and interactive stuff like interviews and some details that you want to showcase about your brand. Yeah, this is great for you also, Nadeem, because you asked about figuring out hashtags, what works and what not. And also Maha, to understand that you can find all of the insights that you want to see, what's working and what's not working. You can find this button on Instagram. When you just, on top, you have a button called Insights. You can press on Insights, and you have 3 different types of insights. You have content, activity, and audience. So here, for example, if you press on content, you can see the most performing posts from 1 year ago, but also you can choose. You can choose the timing, 7 days, 30 days, 3 months, 6 months, to know which are the latest performing posts. But you can also find out which one got the most reach, profile visits, likes, impressions. get directions if you're a business that has a physical store, follows, engagements. It depends on your strategy. Which one do you want first? Do you want more followers first, or do you want more engagement, or do you want more sales or profile visits? So you need to always check your insights to see what's working and then adapt accordingly.
Understood. Thanks so much.
Welcome. Other types of insights are activity, which are the ones that you can find on the post itself. You have two types of activities. You have discovery, which is reach and impression. Reach is unique people who saw your post, and impressions are, for example, if one of these people saw it twice, then it will count as a second impression. And also interactions like this post, how many profile visits did it get me? How many website clicks did it get me? And how many emails people tried to reach out to me if you have the email call to action in your Instagram. The third insight that you need to consider are the audience, to figure out who are your audience, gender, male, female, your followers, when do they interact the most on your page? For example, here you can see it Mondays, they're the most interactive at 12 a.m. and 9 p.m. So you know when to post. And the locations, to understand where your audience are coming from, you can focus your ads on these specific locations, and then the age range. And if you have, by the way, guys, if you have any questions about this, please feel free to ask me so we can go into more details.
Does software business benefit from Instagram or only LinkedIn?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
The software firms, who are doing, mobile applications or, software development, do they get benefited from LinkedIn or Instagram?
It depends on where you, depends on the target audience. For me, using an omni-channel approach, which is connecting all of the social media together with interactive links and call to actions, works best. But this is something that you need to test. Is my audience on Instagram, or they are on Facebook or on LinkedIn? This is where you need to start testing to see where your audience are, depending on your buyer persona. Who are they? Are you targeting people who are decision makers in specific companies? If yes, then maybe LinkedIn is a better option for you. But it's a matter of scarcity resources. What type of resources do you have? What's your budget? Can you create content at scale? If yes, then you can distribute to different channels. So it's a very tricky question to answer, because you need to dig deep into the business model to understand your target audience and your persona. So that's everything that I can tell you to answer your question.
Sure, thank you.
Thank you. All right, so if you don't have any questions about insights, I can move on to stories, which are very interesting. There are 7 ways to use your stories, Instagram stories, for business. First of all, take your followers behind the scene. This always works. Product demonstration and guides, teasers of new products, promote your next big event, you go live on your stories, flash sales and limited offers, and you have Q&A sessions, and I will show you now a couple of examples of brands that do this. So you have different, Instagram always comes up with new ways to interact with the audience. And the thing is about stories, you need to experiment a lot to see what works for you. So let's start with join chat. This is a new feature that I think it's amazing. You can just ask a question for your followers and create like an Instagram group on the AM where you can engage with the audience, get insights, and one conversation can lead to another. And then you can have more insights about what your audience is thinking about. Do they like this color? Do they want something else? You can build a community there. You have the Instagram shop option, which is something also new that you also have to create. And you can tag your pictures with the product, and then they can immediately press on it and go to the website and buy it. Also, we have the swipe up ads, which are great to just lead to traffic on your website and increase your conversions. Different types of engagement that you can use on your stories are the question sticker. This is also nice to interpret what the audience is looking for. And you can, for example, here, you can ask us anything about our new drop. You can have the countdown here, which is great to announce something and create anticipation. And also you can do these things to increase your average cart on the website. For example, this is a great example. What are you adding to your bag? And you can have people interact and answer. How do you use the swipe up ads? The swipe up is an option that is available for only Instagram profiles who have more than 10,000 followers. And that's the only way you can use it, or you can use it through an Instagram ad that you can create, but that will be paid, not organic. Okay. I think we need to go faster, so I'm gonna try as much as possible to to dive into this. So we have two types of collaboration that you can do to boost your reach on Instagram. We have the influencers, and you can collaborate with other brands. So influencers, I'm going to talk about it in a bit, but what I want to focus on is brands that, and not a lot of people do this. So you need to look for brands who can complement your product, who already have a following. For example, in our teeth whitening brand, it makes sense for us to collaborate with another brand who is selling a tanning product. Because you know, in summer, when you have a tan, your teeth will look whiter. So we can do these collaborations for us and for them. They will gain from our followers and we will gain from their followers. And you can craft these relationships by just sending them a DM, explaining them, hop on a Zoom call, create that relationship, and just start with it. Okay, so this is collaboration. Now we're going to talk about consistency. You know, at the beginning of the workshop, I talked about the algorithm about Instagram. They want you to keep people on the platform, and they want you to use the platform as much as possible to boost your reach. So the more you spend on the platform, the more that it will work for you. So a question that we get a lot is, how many posts should we post per day or per month? And the question is, it depends on how many can you. If you can do it consistently every month, for example, if you want to post daily every month, then you should stick to that. If you can only do 5, then do 5. The thing here is about consistency, not the how much you post, but if you can do both, then that will skyrocket your reach. So you have to be consistent on Instagram to get the most out of it. You have to use all the features, and you need to ensure your brand guidelines. This is something that I always talk about. You need to have a consistent tone of voice, and you need to make Instagram part of your daily routines. Community. Community is the best way you can ensure long-term success on social media and on Instagram specifically. And you can do this by, when we talked about hashtags, you can use your hashtags on your post to reach as many people as possible, but you can also find hashtags to create collaborations and engage with people using these hashtags. So it's not just you using the hashtags, it's also you searching for specific hashtags and creating these relationships with people that are following and are interested in the thing that you're selling or talking about. So what you need to do is find these hashtags, engage with people, be very authentic in your message. You need to give value to your audience, and you need to create a group on Facebook, whether it's on Facebook or on chats, the thing that I showed you in the stories, and you need to always engage with them and create like a tribe for you on Instagram. Hashtags and change regularly. To answer your question for the hashtags, it depends on the type of posts. In my opinion, I think we need to use different hashtags depending on the post itself. For example, here, I'm going to show you an example. Yeah, for example, here we can use hashtags such as Corona and COVID and lockdown for people to discover us, but here we won't use them. But we will have teeth whitening, we will have teeth whitening kit, we will have teeth whitening kit at home, or at home teeth whitening. These will be the standard ones that people use. I hope this answers your question. Welcome, Carolina. All right, so the last thing that I want to talk about is influencer marketing. In case we can post only 4 times per week, should it be the same days every week? Not necessarily. I think you should test, and it depends on the insights. When is your audience more active, and you should follow these insights. So we have two types of influencers, macro influencers and micro influencers. I talked a lot about this on my Instagram. So for those who know me and follow me, I'm sure you know what I'm going to talk about here. We have macro influencers, which are the big influencers who have millions and millions of followers. And you need to understand something about these people is that each and every influencer has a specific purpose when it comes to business. So the pros and cons for a macro influencer, which is a big influencer, the good thing about them is that they have massive reach and they will create a brand affiliation with you and you will get a mass awareness. And the cons are they're very expensive. They have lower engagement because on Instagram, the more followers you have, the less engagement you have because they want you to work for it. And they're less trusted because they usually collaborate with millions of brands and they're not very authentic. Not all of them, but most of them. And they're less accessible. You need someone who knows them so you can access them. They don't respond to each brand and it's hard to reach them. Micro influencers, the pros and cons of these influencers that they have high engagement because they have less number of followers. They are a trusted source. They are more relevant to your product because you're handpicking them and they will result in direct sales. I personally tested these with a lot of influencers when I worked with them, and the more an influencer has less followers, the more sales we got. So that's a plus for you to know. And the cons, they have lower reach because they don't have a lot of followers. And for your influencer campaign to work, you need several influencers to have that massive reach that you need. And it requires more effort because you need a community manager that is talking with them and creating these relationships with them, hopping on calls or meeting them live to decide what the campaign is and what they want to talk about and all of that. So who should you work with? In my opinion, depending on the experience that I have, it's both, depending on your budget. So if you can use both, then yes, but no, if you don't have a lot of money and you want to start, then micro influencers win because you have focused marketing. It will help you build the community. It's lower cost, more sales, more user generated content. You have more content to post on your feed and you have more engagement overall. So how do you spot a good influencer? You look at their engagement rate, which I'm gonna talk about in the next slide. And we're wrapping up because this is the last few things that I'm gonna talk about. One good tip is to see if they reply to the comments of their followers, because that will make you understand that these are people who care about their audiences. You need to follow them and check their stories, see how they interact, and to see if they're a good fit for your brand. And at the end of the day, when you start getting these influencers, you put them in a list and you try to compare which are the best ones for you to reach. These are worldwide insights. 10,000 followers have 3.6 engagement rate. 5 to 10, they have 6.3, and 1 to 5, they have 8.8 engagement rate. So you need to handpick those people. And this is a free resource, by the way. You can use ninjaoutreach.com to calculate. You can just put the names of the influencers. There's a lot. Just Google influencer engagement rate calculator and you will have access to these insights. Usually it's between 4 to 6%, which is very good. So your next influencer campaign, what should it entail? You need to, if you want to collaborate with influencers, you choose micro influencers because it makes more sense. Get their feedback, save their stories, and use these stories to create ads. Run these ads on Instagram, retarget people who visited your profile, and then scale your ads to make the most out of it. So to wrap this up, for me, when it comes to Instagram ads, you need to consider these things. First of all, respect the art. Respect branding and storytelling, because the more creative you can get, the less money you have to spend. Respect the math, because it's as important as the art. Create content, a lot of content. Give value, educate, entertain, and inspire. Engage with your audience, build a community. Use all the features that Instagram will give you, hashtags, location, live stories, IGTV reels. The more you use, the more Instagram will favor your account. Collaborate with other pages and influencers. Be consistent, very consistent. Run ads. Never promote your posts. Plan your media in advance, and then scale everything. So I think this is it. We talked about a lot of things. I'm sure in the next training that we have, we're going to dive in a lot of more details. So I'm going to leave the floor to Abed or...
Thank you very much, Omar. Thank you very much. That was really amazing. I mean, even myself, I really benefited from this training. I mean, obviously, I mean, all of us really did. So I'm sure that there's a lot of questions on the chat. So I tried to answer as many. So just to answer like one last question, which is, so Shilpa was asking how to track how to track performance for influencers. So just to answer you real quick, because you were asking on how to actually track sales and performance. So usually that is based on, we call this cost per action, or not cost per action. I mean, we usually try to track those conversions based on affiliate marketing programs. So there's a lot of programs that you can use to actually track the performance of those influencers. So you can always create like a trackable URL, like a trackable link using, let's say, Campaign URL Builder or any other affiliate program. And you can always give that URL or link to that influencer so that they can use it in their campaigns. And this is how you will be able to track and to analyze if this influencer is actually bringing you traffic or bringing you business, right? So usually, I mean, and you can pay them based on action that I was trying to say at the beginning. So you pay them based on sale, based on action, and you don't pay them based on just like posting a specific post or a story. You need to do that based on performance. So finally, I just want to tell you guys, I mean, I just want to give you like a quick background on our digital marketing course. I mean, as you've seen right now with Omar, we've seen a lot of case studies, we've seen a lot of, let's say, examples, and that is something that we actually focus on during our course, the digital marketing course. So if you can just, Omar, like go to the next slide.
Yeah.
So what we usually try to focus on, guys, is not only showing you different case studies, we show you, let's say, we try to focus on your own businesses. So we have a 2 weeks digital marketing track, which is our main digital marketing course that we have at the Academy. And during those 2 weeks, obviously we cover a lot of topics. And just to tell you, before I tell you about the topics, so how this course is actually different from any other course. So first of all, it is spread over a period of 2 weeks. So it is a mixed learning, let's say, I mean, it has a different structure than any other course because, so what we try to do is we try to add more practical, let's say, sessions into this course so that you guys can practice actually during the course what we're trying to achieve, whether it's teaching you how to develop a social media advertising campaign, working on your strategies, building your missions, and all of these. So we have some assignments that we work on together. And another thing is we offer office hours. So in between those 2 weeks, we usually dedicate a specific day where we have some office hours, which are one-on-one sessions with each and everyone that is, that's taking the course, where we can just answer anything or we can just help you with anything. Even if you're running, a live campaign at the moment, we can just, log in and have a one-on-one session with you guys just to help you out reaching your objectives and your goals. So yeah, start by talking more about strategy, social media ads. We dig deeper into Google Analytics, and then Google Ads. We show you how to create an effective campaign on the paid search, on Google. And then we talk more about SEO, search engine optimization, how to, what are the best practices to get a better rank for your website. And then finally, we talk more about email marketing, customer retention. So obviously you have a full scope where we tackle everything in this digital marketing course. It is a foundational course for anyone that wants to upskill their knowledge, or even for someone that is trying to do career shift or just handling their business and they want to know what are the best practices to do in any of these, let's say, areas. So that's more about our course. I don't know, Omar, if you just can.
Yeah, oh, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, so that is so that is the link where you can know more about the course. Obviously, we're going to be sharing it. I don't know, Omar, can you share the link with the chat?
Yeah,
So
of course.
that would be a good thing. So yeah, so if you want to know more about the course, you can just
sorry.
you can just visit. Yeah, I think it just yeah. So I think it's in your next tab because you already yeah. Cool. So yeah, I mean, if you want to know more about the course, you can always reach out to us. So I'm going to drop you my email over here. And you can always visit the website to know more about our course. So yeah, I mean, we really hope to see a lot of faces of you guys during our upcoming iteration. And now I just want to leave the floor for my colleague, Rishab, who's going to talk more about the academy and our alumni programs. All right.
Thank you, Abid. Thank you, Omar, for this wonderful meetup. And thank you, everyone, for joining us. I know we're overbooked, so I'll just take like a minute of your time. Just a small request, if you could fill in this feedback form, which I've just put in the chat box. This will really help us capture your experience of the program and get some insights on how we can improve our meetups going forward. And Omar, if you can go to the next slide, please.
Yeah.
So as Abid rightly said, we have a very interesting digital marketing course that can really give you insights on how do you get started with digital marketing if you have zero foundational knowledge. But I'll just add one more thing to it. If you, let's say you have basic insights, basic knowledge about going about on Instagram marketing or Facebook, and you really want some advanced knowledge, we also have an advanced social media course. The advanced social media course is super hands-on. Again, you come with your project, your business, or your organization's campaigns. You work with the instructor. There is less instruction, more of hands-on doing. It's very interactive, sort of like a consulting engagement. So you basically have the instructor as a consultant for you throughout the duration of the program. All our courses, the details are available on academy.astrolabs.com. Do visit our website. Check out if there's any course that interests you. Feel free to drop in your details and we'll get back to you. But I also want to mention that when you take a course with AstroLabs, your journey just doesn't start or let's say end with a course. There's an entire immersive learning experience that we have for every alumni, every student part of our academy. So events such as these, which are open to all, are one part of that journey, but we also have very exclusive events that are only open to our alumni. These are events we do with professionals, with entrepreneurs, with business leaders. So it's a great opportunity for you to interact with them, network with them, and build connections. And to answer your question, Maha, we have both virtual as well as online courses. So have a look at the website. Some courses happen virtually, some happen in person. So apart from these super exclusive alumni events, we also give you access to our network. So AstroLabs is the only Google for Startups hub in Dubai. So that means when you join AstroLabs, you become a part of our community. You have direct access to over 45,000 startups, entrepreneurs, mentors. And it's a very collaborative community that we have. So in case you're looking to get a new job, there will be people willing to, make some connections, pass on your resume. You're looking to hire someone, the community is always passing on leads for you. If you have any questions, if you are stuck somewhere, we'd really come along together and help our alumni. So that's about the entire AstroLabs journey. And thank you once again for joining us. Thank you so much, Omar, for taking our time. It was really wonderful to have you with us, and hopefully we can see you at another meetup again.
Hopefully. Thank you guys for joining, and thank you AstroLab for this opportunity. I mean, guys, if you want to know more about digital marketing, then I suppose that you need to enroll in that marketing course and get the most insights to grow your business. And for me, I tell you that these guys are really a professional company, which is the most I think it's one of the most successful companies here in the region. They have, they're teaching across the Middle East. So they're very experienced in what they do. And I'm sure you'll benefit a lot. So thank you again for being here. And hopefully we'll see you soon.
Thank you everyone.
Thank you,
Thank you Omar, thank you Rishab. All right guys, hope to see you soon. Thank you, bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Thank you guys. Cheers. Bye.
Bye.